कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि
भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि।
ॐ जय गंगे माता मैया जय गंगे माता जो नर तुमको जाता जो नर मैया जी को जाता मन वांछित फल पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। चंद्र सी ज्योत तुम्हारी जल निर्मल आता मैया जल निर्मल आता शरण पड़े जो तेरे शरण पड़े जो तेरे सो नर तर जाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। एक ही बार जो तेरी शरणागति आता मैया शरणागति आता यम की त्रास मिटा कर यम के कष्ट मिटा कर परम गति पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता। मंगलकारी मैया तू है सुखदाता मैया तो है सुखदाता तेरी गोद में आकर तेरे शरण में आकर मन शांति पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता जय गंगे माता मैया जय गंगे माता जो नर तुमको जाता जो नर मैया जी को जाता मनवांछित फल पाता। ओम जय गंगे माता जय गंगे माता जय गंगे माता। त्वमेव माता
च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग्। ॐ शान्तिः
शान्ति
शान्तिः। जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल हरि
Radharman Hari Bol.
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. ओ
जय जय Radharman Hari Bol Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radharman Hari Bol.
ओ जय जय राधा रमण.
जय जय
रमण जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. ओ जय जय राधा राधा जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल हरि बोल. जय जय राधा
Hari Bol. नवनागरी किशोर
नवल रसिया नवनागर किशोर
नवल रसिया
प्यारो तुझको छैल गाना मन बसियो.
प्यारो तुझको छैल गाना मन बसिया.
चाहे कालिंदी कोल किलो करे कालिंदी कोल किलो. जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. जय राधा रमण हरि बोल हरि बोल.
जय जय Radharman Hari Bol.
ओ जय जय राधा रमण जय जय राधा रमण जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. ओ जय जय राधा
जय जय राधा
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल हरि बोल. जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. जय राधा
रमण हरि बोल हरि बोल.
जय जय राधा रमण जय जय राधा रमण जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः.
How can I observe and know which chakras need to be activated so I can become better? Well, first of all, it's really important to remember that none of this is about becoming better. It's about becoming real. who you are right now is perfect. The whole concept of self-development is sort of a tragic misunderstanding. It implies by its very name and by the very way that so much of it's taught that somehow God left most of us half-baked. That we're sort of half done, that like we got out of the oven or out of the factory a little too soon, and it's up to us to figure out how to do the rest. And so you better buy the right book, you better go to the right course, you better have the right CD so that you know how to finish baking yourself. Nobody, no matter what concept of divinity you come from, no matter what culture, what religion you come from, there's no version of the divine that I know of that says, yeah, sometimes he, she, it does things perfectly and fully, and sometimes he, she, it leaves things for, does 10% of the job. The divine is perfect and infinite. That's what distinguishes divinity from non-divinity. Now, that doesn't mean that we all act perfectly. It doesn't mean we understand perfectly. It doesn't mean we're living our lives perfectly. But that's not because you're not perfect. It's because over that perfection, we have dumped a bunch of ignorance and misunderstanding. And it's that leads to suffering. And so the only development necessary is a removal of that which isn't true. Egos, false identities, personalities, our attachment to our histories, the roles we play, all of this stuff that to most of us is who we are. I mean, if I went around, I won't, don't worry, I don't pick on people like that. Until you raise your hand, I'm not gonna make you speak. But if we went around and I said, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You're going to give me some aspect of unreality. You're going to give me a name. You're going to give me a religion, a culture, a job, an age, a color, relationships. You'll give me all of that. Now, that's what we call not reality, not self, not true. That which is permanent, and the reason, of course, it's not true is because it's over like this. It's a momentary wave in the ocean. That which is true is that which is eternal within us, which is the divinity, consciousness, love. That's perfect in you. There is no one who got, half as much or less than or more than or a better deal or a worse deal. So there is nothing that any of us needs to do to be better. We work on our chakras, our energy centers, as the question brings us to. We have a spiritual practice, not to make us better, but to make us know who we are, to make us be able to live in the reality of who we are, rather than spending our lives acting out some role. That we forget that there's even a being under the mask, under the costume, speaking the lines. And so the chakras, the energy centers, are just centers throughout our physical being, our subtle being, the subtle body, the energetic body, that have different roles that they play in our life, ranging from and moving from that which connects us most deeply to the earth and that which enables us to connect most fully to that which is without name, without form, never born, never died. So it's deeply connected to the elements, to the earth, to that which nourishes and nurtures us, literally the roots of us. And all the way up and through that which is the divine. I'm not going to take the whole satsang time and go into the details of each of them. There's, I was going to say books, which of course there are, but these days, of course, you could actually just go to Google and type in, the chakras, what are they? What's important on a fundamental level is its energy. And so how to know what energy is blocked is just by tuning into it. We know a lot more about ourselves than we give ourselves credit for. Really tragically, from the time we're very young, we are taught to abdicate all of our self-awareness to others. So as kids, we're wide awake, we're excited, we're curious, we want to play, and our parents say to us, it's bedtime, go to sleep. We're tired, we want to sleep. Sleep is overpowering our bodies. Somebody says to us, it's dinner, sit down and eat. We're not hungry. They feed us. We are hungry. They say it's not yet dinner time. And not that this is bad by any means. It's important, obviously, to have schedules. It helps to have everybody on a similar schedule. But nonetheless, the underlying teaching is you don't even know when it's time to sleep, wake, eat. And it gives a very, very deep teaching to us from long before we even show up in school and everybody starts telling us what to think, what's right, what's not, what's true, what's not. Sit down, shut up, speak when you're spoken to, all of that. Long before even that. We're taught not to trust our own inner sense. And it just goes on and it just gets worse as we get older. But we find ourselves then here as fully functional, capable adults, successes in the world. But we need someone else to tell us when the energy in my own body and my own being is blocked. We've gotten that far removed from connection to ourself. That far removed. And so I'm going to just send you back right to where the source of the truth is, which is inside. And if you look at your life, don't worry about saying, oh, this is connected to my throat chakra, or that's connected to my root chakra, or that's connected to my heart chakra. Don't worry too much about that. If it interests you, sure, by all means study it. But it's not essential. Because wherever the energy is blocked, our attention to that energy and our intention to release it is actually usually enough. When you sit to meditate, do a scan of the body, physical body and energetic body. When you breathe, ask yourself, as I'm inhaling, where do I feel the breath flowing? Where do I feel the breath stuck? Allow that to be your meditation for a while. Just inhale, and as you inhale, can you really feel it flow through the entire being? Or are there places that it feels like the breath, there's something there? What are you holding there? It may be muscular tension. Could be something as simple as sitting at a desk or driving your car. Could have emotional components to it. Usually it does. Could be simply an energetic block, not a muscular one. But do a scan of the being, physical being, energetic being. Where do you feel energy flowing within you? Where do you feel stuck? Notice also when you meditate, what kind of thoughts keep intruding upon your meditation. A lot of times that'll also lead you to, sometimes it's just nonsense, but sometimes it's the same recurring thought or recurring theme over and over again. Is it all about sex? Is it all about food? Is it all about hitting somebody? Is it all about screaming? Is there a theme? Is it all about money? What's the theme of the thoughts that keep coming in? And that'll guide you also. And as you do the meditation that I led in the beginning, it takes you through most of the chakras, not all of them, but it takes you through most of them, through 5 of the 7 of them at least. Allow the breath to flow through them. And see really whether you can feel as the breath rises. Can you feel the energy in the being? And that'll happen slowly, slowly, slowly. Our chakras also release a lot through our work in the world. It's not just what we do with our eyes closed. So for example, do you feel a constriction in your heart chakra? Do you feel a blockage there? Well, sure, one way of working with that is in meditation. Can you draw energy up into it? Can you draw energy from the divine world into it? But another way of working with it is through moving through the world. Can you love more? That'll open your heart chakra. Can you make a commitment to love something or someone every day? Could be a flower, could be a sunset. But can you make a commitment to love something every day? Similarly, you feel, a blockage in the throat chakra. These are places people very frequently feel blockages. Well, okay, again, you can work with it in your meditation. But I have found it's actually much more effective to work with it by simply speaking your truth. That'll open it up right away. Afraid to say something to someone? Say it. The blockage will open. So do that work, but don't do it in an effort to be better. Do it in an effort to be full, to be real, to be true. As with all of your spiritual work, of course.